and welcome to Cosy Coaching, where we are getting real, all about self-growth, one late night chat at a time. Roll the credits.
Hey there, friend. Welcome to Cosy Coaching.
If this is your first time here, I'm so happy to have you here. And if you're returning, well, girl, I hope you enjoyed the last few episodes where we are on our roadmap to 2026. Hi, I'm Sinitta. Now we're going to be talking about stepping into your next level identity and how self-growth is a personal choice and how you have to be intentional with your personal growth journey. And things don't just happen by accident. So everything that you choose to do is a choice that you're making. If something doesn't really align with you anymore, it doesn't sit well with you anymore, and you're still choosing to do that or choosing to show up in that way, you're not choosing to change that circumstance. And you have to look at yourself. In last week's episode, we talk about self-acceptance, and it also comes alongside self-awareness. That you have to be very aware of your actions and how you contribute to your self-growth journey. And the more effort that you put in, the more that you'll get out of it. So the less that you put into it, you're not going to yield the results that you want. The more you put into it, you're going to get more out of it. And you might be looking at me like, Sinitta, I've been doing it. I've been doing the do, and it's not working. Think about the actions and the things that you're doing in your personal growth journey. Are you trying to evolve and be better in what it is that you're doing? When you start evolving and changing and looking at that her that you've created, what happens with self-growth is that your values meet your vision, and that's what brings the growth together. So sometimes if you don't know where you're going, it's quite hard to figure out what's the next step. And you might realize that you're going down a path and, it's not the right path. It's not the one that you thought it was going to be. Or maybe you've gone down that path and you're like, oh, okay, maybe that's not a bit of me. And it's okay to stop. If you keep on going down that path knowing full well it doesn't align with you anymore, your values have changed slightly, and it doesn't really sit well in your spirit, in your soul, in your mind, you're not going to get any further with it. So what I recommend is just slowing down. And it's okay to pivot as many times as you want. I'll give you a perfect example. When I started my self-growth journey, I was in the social media world heavy. And I would listen to all these social media gurus and all of that, and they'll be like, niche down, pick something that you can talk about forever and never get bored of it. And at that time, because I was so heavily in social media, I am a makeup girly. I love putting on my makeup. I love painting my face. Like, that is what I love to do. And I still love to do that. And at the time when I started, I was like, I want to be a makeup artist. And I can't really go to makeup school. But the way I can learn is by creating YouTube videos, creating YouTube tutorials, because I love to make a tutorial. I would be in YouTube every single day, like, what am I going to learn? Who am I going to learn it from? Where can I find these people? I have found some amazing YouTubers that I still follow to this day. And that's what I thought I wanted to do. So I went down that path. I started creating YouTube videos. You can scroll back on my YouTube right now and you can see my first makeup video. You can see all of my journey, because I'm not going to delete that from my YouTube, because that is what has gotten me to here right now. I love to see my evolution, and I can see it through YouTube. I wasn't so much consistent, but I can see that evolution. And I had my values, I had my vision. I was like, I can't go to makeup school, I can't leave my job, I need to find a way to be able to do it. And it was actually my husband who suggested me to start YouTube, and I did. I had a routine every single Monday night. I would film a routine. I would then edit it. I would put it up. I was on Instagram. I was like, this is gonna be great. And then I don't know really, I can't even tell you really what happened and why I was like, oh, this is not it. that this doesn't feel how I thought it was going to feel. I didn't feel lit up. Like I said, I love to paint my face. I love putting on a full beat. Like, I promise you, I'm gonna put on a full beat. I'm gonna go makeup shopping. I'm gonna watch a tutorial. I still do all of that now, but it just didn't. It was my hobby. It had been my hobby since I was a teenager, and I just couldn't turn that into a career. It didn't sit well for myself. So if I just carried on down that path, I wouldn't be here sitting here as a coach coaching you in this moment. So it's okay to go down a path and then realize it's not for you. I've been down several paths. I even started a business, and I'm no longer doing that business because this is really truly where my passion lies. This is where my values lie. And I don't think I've told this story before. I may have done, if you follow me on Instagram, I may have said it, but I'll tell you the story. When I started on this personal growth journey, I got myself a coach, and I used to cry before every single session. I was so overwhelmed. I felt so heavy. I felt so lost. And she is a confidence coach, and she really helped me every single week. So I think, no, not every single week. Every other week we would have calls. For 3 months we had these calls. And she just released this inside of me, this but yearning inside of me for something more than where I was. My job was no longer fulfilling me, and I thought that if I could take my skill set as a job and make it into a business, that would be where I would just flourish. And it's crazy because on the very first call that I had with her, I said I would love to open up a virtual assistant business because I'm a personal assistant. It's literally all of my skills are transferable, but I'll be reaping all of the rewards. I can make my hours. I've got small children. I really just want to be there for them. And that's where that started. And after those 3 months with her, the breakthroughs that I had, like, I was no longer crying anymore. I decentered myself from work. I was able to basically stand on my own 2 feet and be like, it's okay that this job is not fulfilling me how I want. I've got this other thing. I learned so much in that business. I am so grateful for my clients that I had. They taught me so much. I was in my social media bag. I was in my admin bag. I was enjoying it. But then the spark for coaching, I was just like, I don't know. I was talking to a friend, and she just said, you'd be a really good coach. And I was just like, hold on. I've been thinking about this. I really enjoy talking about personal growth. I've read all the books. I read all the podcasts. I've been doing the work on myself. Yeah, I could help people through this. I could help other women. And that's where it started. And then another random conversation got talking about astrology, and I was given this website where you could put in you could put in your date of birth, the time you were born, where you was born, and all of those details, and it just like spits out this whole report. And in this report, it gives you a list of jobs. And the very last job, I'm going to find the screenshot. I'll put it on screen because I actually screenshotted it and I sent it to my husband, and I was like, oh my goodness. Right there was a life coach. And I was like, that's it. Like, if that's not a sign from God, I don't know what is. Like, it was like screaming at me, and it gave me the confidence to be, okay, let's go down this path. Let's see it. And that's where my vision changed. That's where my values was still exactly the same because I was still who I was, but my vision changed. And I started to make a few changes, and I started to just be, okay, I like this. I've got more stories and more signs that have pointed me in the direction of being a coach, and I'm going to share them with you through this course of these episodes, because it really will make you understand that over time, the more you do things, the more your vision will be revealed to yourself. And you don't need to know the end goal. You don't need to know. I need you to understand you don't need to always know where you're going. You just need to know that you want more, and that you're doing those small changes. You're changing a few things here, a few things there, and you're doing it for the betterment of yourself, not for other people, not for anybody else. But the confidence I feel to even sit here and talk to you and feel in my coaching bag, baby. So good. So be intentional with your growth journey. Don't be so rigid with it. Don't be so strict with it. But have routines. Have your habits, because structure will help you. And I was very much on the edge of not the edge, but I was always of the realm that I want spontaneity, I want this, I want that, I want that. But just because you have a routine and you have structure in your life doesn't mean you haven't got space for spontaneity and that off the cuff whim activity or go and do this thing. I also have kids, so a lot of my things I can't just be like spontaneous, but I can be spontaneous and plan it for a couple of days time. Like that could happen too. Go with your circumstances. Be true to who you are. So know your values, know who you are at your core. Set your vision in terms of be flexible with it, but know kind of where you want to go, because you don't put in the sat nav take me anywhere when you want to get to Liverpool. You put in the address in Liverpool and you go to Liverpool. So make it something that you can be like, this is where I want to go, this is where I think I want to go. Let me start making tracks, and your vision, your path will be revealed to you slowly down the road. But just be intentional. If you want to meditate some more, make the time. And even if you have to start at 1 minute, meditate for that 1 minute. If you want to work out, set the day, the time, what workout you're going to do. Set your clothes out. Be intentional about it. If you want to read more, say you want to read 5 pages or 2 pages, so you can just build up that habit. But your growth and your next step is always just going to be on you to be intentional about it. And if I've said intention about 1,000,000 times, I hope you've got the point. Let's be intentional about what we're going to be doing. Last week we looked at your life audit, and I asked you to pull out 3 of the points from the life audit that you wanted to work on to increase the numbers. And now what I want you to do is I want you to set 3 intentional goals that fit within your day in the life of your her. So think about how you spoke about her. So I hope you wrote it down, or you videoed it, or you voice noted it. And I want you to think about what habits, routines, and structure does she need in order for you to be able to start taking steps to build your vision, to start stepping into your vision and what that is. And we're going to make them smart, because why not? Let's make them smart. We're going to make them specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So these is going to sit within the 3 things that you picked out from your life audit, and then from your day in the life as her, you're going to pick out 3 intentional goals, and we're going to make them smart. Okay? If you need any help with making them smart, if you've got an idea of what you want to do, but you don't really know how to make them smart, drop them down in the comments, and I will definitely help you to make them into smart goals, because I always found that a little bit difficult to make them smart goals. Leave them down below, and I will definitely get back to you and help you to make them into smart goals. And of course, you can tweak them and do whatever you need to do to make it a little bit more easier for yourself, but I can help you to get started. So like I said, from those 3 goals, we are going to map out the systems and routines and structure that you need in order to make them achievable. So that making them smart is all going to sit in with this. So you've got your intentional goals, we're focusing on how we're going to get there, and we are going to do this really slowly, not rush, just take your time with it. And then from that, I want you to identify your 3 non-negotiables for 2026. What is it that you are saying no to anymore? What is it that you're saying yes to some more? And I want you to be really, really steadfast in those. Write them down and stick to them. Just like you stick to your values, I want you to stick to those non-negotiables. For me, I have a word for 2026, and my word is commitment. And the reason for that is because I'm training for a triathlon. So I am committed to that training plan. I want to be in the best shape of my entire life, because I've never been since I was a kid. I've never been in the best shape of my life since then. So I want to be in the best shape of my life. That's actually a lie. In my 20s, I was actually quite... Anyways, that's a story for another day. I want to be in the best shape of my entire life. It's my 40th year on this planet, and I want to smash it out of the park. I've got a dream trip of a lifetime planned, and I can't wait to go. So I'm committed to making sure that that holiday is the best holiday of my entire life. So let's wrap this all up in a tight bow so you know exactly what your key takeaway for your 2026 roadmap is. We're creating 3 intentional goals that sit within our life audit, and I'll create a day in the life of our her. They'll all sit similarly together. So the 3 you picked out last week, what are 3 intentional goals? 1 from each of those items. And then what I want you to do is, what are the systems, routines, habits that you need to pick up, get rid of, in order for you to be able to fulfill those 3 intentional goals that you have. And then finally, you're going to identify your non-negotiables for 2026 that's going to enable you to, say it with me now, remove all barriers to entry and make it so easy that you can't even say no to it. Make it so easy. What are your non-negotiables for 2026? Set them, write them down, put them somewhere where you're going to see them all the time. If you're into being a vision board, make those your 3 words in your vision board that you can put on your phone screen, your laptop screen, whatever screen you see all the time, put it there. So that is the end of today's Cosy Coaching. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you want more of this, go and follow me over on Instagram. I'm there all the time. I'll pop my handle down in the description. And if you like this episode, I'm going to need you to like it, comment, and subscribe. And I'm going to see you next week for the final part of our 2026 roadmap. And I'll see you there. Have a great evening. Bye.